Hey guys, how's it going? Hope it's going well for you today. It's going great for me. I'm still a little bit nervous about all of this cloudy weather, but we're gonna assume that Idaho has not transitioned to the state of Washington, and we're going to continue. However, I have a slight problem. So you've noticed that I've been using a sandblaster, which is fantastic. But there's one slight problem. I want to be able to sandblast inside of this area. Now the problem with that is the sand is going to get into the engine compartment. Now I can attempt to collect the sand by placing plastic bags under there or whatever, but I think I have a better solution. At least I hope I do. I'll probably regret it later. But for now, I'm excited about it. When a traditional jack lifts up, whether it's a motorcycle jack or an actual standard floor jack, it lifts up, and as it lifts up, as you can see my fingertips, they keep moving to the right more, the higher it goes. The same is true when you're jacking up a car. So as I jacked it up from the back, it actually pulled the car backward. Now, I want to set the car on jack stands. When the car begins to descend, it's going to go forward. So when you're setting your jack stands up, you want to make sure that your jack stands are a little bit forward of where you want them to be, because as you lower the car will move forward. Welcome to my new world, under the car. There's lots of grease and spiders and lots of really fun things. And as you've noticed, I have my eye protection on. If you haven't worked under a car, trust me, get the eye protection that has that foam around the side, because I don't care what kind of safety glasses you have, you will get dirt and grease in your eyeball, and it's no fun. So although they're annoying and you can't see very well, it's better to not see very well, take the glasses off and be able to see, than see very well, get something in your eye and not be able to see. Sometimes those bolts can be hidden, but believe me, they are actually there. So the first thing you're going to want to do, most likely, is get something to scrape the grease around. Well, you can scrape it around, but the biggest point is you want to get the grease off the bolt. So what you want to do here is you get the box end wrench on there and just squish it down there. I wasn't able to get all the grease out from underside that. Yeah, well, you know, we're going to go with that. Underside is just fine by me. If it doesn't go down deep enough, you're not going to want to try to turn, because it will just strip the bolt out. Now the bolt is cracked free, and so you want to crack all of the bolts around the entire engine first before you loosen all of them. Obviously, you don't want to pull all the bolts out while you're laying underneath your engine. Now, the engine doesn't weigh very much. It's only about 200 pounds, but it still makes for a bad day when it's on your chest. And yes, I have had that happen, and no, it is not fun, and no, I do not want to experience that again. So, let's move on to the next bolt. This has got to be much better than that spatula. Alright, now that one's loosed. Loosed? I guess it's loosed. It's loose end anyway. Come back to reality, Mr. Camera. There you go. There we go. Lift up. Alright, that one's loose now. My goodness, these bolts are easy.
Time for you to come out from looking on the back side of the motor, but according to John Muir, that's actually the front side of the motor, although most people would say that's actually the back side. Well,
did I forget anything? I guess I forgot an engine mount. Little thing. I've taken 3 of the 4 engine mount bolts off. I've taken and the 4th one's loose. It's just dangling there. It's supported by the jack. I have taken the heater box cables off. I have disconnected of course, the battery. I've disconnected all the wiring. I've disconnected the fuel line accidentally from behind the firewall, which is a good thing because apparently it's cracking. So that's good. And also, these wires are toasted. This bug caught fire at some point. I guess let's pull that last bolt off and see if we can get this motor to drop down to the ground. I guess we should take the throttle cable off. You see, that's the beauty of YouTube. I can just edit this part out, and you'll never know that I tried to take the engine out with the throttle cable still attached. After all that, I just realized, now we gotta start working. This is totally noteworthy. When you have to make do, you have to make do. And today it's nasty rainy. Which means that you can't sandblast in the rain. Well, I mean, you probably could, but very bad idea. Clogs would happen everywhere. So I had to make a sandblasting area in my shop, which I don't necessarily want to do that, but I don't really have a choice. So it was ghetto worthy enough to film. I started from the lamp to the trash can, back to the bonnet of the Beetle, the 73, and then to the oh no handle on the same Beetle. The best part about all of this, yep, I'm using the blind pull string to hold the tarp in place for my sandblasting. I'm so white trash. I got a motor sitting in my driveway, a dead bug sitting in my driveway, a dead bug sitting on the side, a car without an engine, a car without paint. I'm turning into that guy! We have two things. One, two, no, I think it's two. This is not two, this is two. We have two things to look at. One, it's not so good. Two, I just need to spend some time to work on it. I need to spend some time getting some of this nastiness off. That still needs to come off so I can sandblast it. This is the not so good thing. Yeah, that rust there, not so good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna address it or not. I'm going to vote no, based on time. If I have time, I'll weld in a new plate there. But I think someone would probably rather weld the correct, you know what, that's a lie. I'm just making up an excuse not to actually do the work. I need to fix that. I need to just let this go. No, Pikachu wants to fix everything. The proper way would be to cut this entire panel out and refab in a new panel, but if you've been around long enough, you know I don't do things right. So I'm gonna cut this part out right here and just tack weld in a tiny little piece. To be honest, I don't even want to do that, but I can't justify leaving that nasty bit of I can't justify leaving that nasty bit of rust sitting there, so I'm gonna have to do something. Well, we're pretty much done with the engine bay. We still have a couple little things that are not so good. One is the rust on the passenger side rear. Now we really should replace that metal, but I'm not going to. So whoever gets this next should know that they need to replace that metal. Now, I really should replace that metal because I think it's going to be painted. So knowing me, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to do it and then I'm going to do it. We'll see. I also painted. I haven't painted anything yet. I also sandblasted underneath here. It was really nasty and gross. So I got that all sandblasted. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was and I'm happy with it. So that's the important thing here. This is my first restoration, so hopefully as time goes on it'll get better and better. Okay, so here's the underside of the car. What better time to see this section than now with the engine out? It's a bit easier. Not as easy with things dangling around, of course, but... So that's that. Where's your battery? You're almost dead! I don't want you to die. I'm going to put you away so you can charge up because you look like you're just about to die and we don't want to see you dead. So I'm going to put you away for a while. I'm going to continue to work and I'll show you where I got once you're all charged up. Yeah!